Yeah.
Am I talking to you?
To answer you.
For real?
If you're an operator and you're looking to differentiate yourself from your competition, you're going to be looking out into the world of software and technology. And what you're going to find today is a lot of companies that are focused on artificial intelligence.
I believe that real estate investors are underestimating two main things about the impact of AI in the industry. The first one is how much efficiency it's going to create in the industry, and the fact that having access to all of the documentation real time is going to create much more liquidity in real estate.
Many industries in the early 2000s started to adopt the idea of big data. As we moved into the 21st century, there's been a real kind of democratization and commoditization of not only storage, but processing and now sophisticated AI tools.
Think about payables as an example. So artificial intelligence is really good at taking payable information, so think about an invoice that comes in, trying to understand what's on that invoice and looking at patterns over time of how that invoice gets paid. So it's a great example of using a machine learning model to build software to help somebody be more efficient within the world of commercial real estate.
So much of the data that exists within commercial real estate is very unstructured. And what I mean by that is much of the data exists as documents. These could be lease documents, legal documents, offering memorandums, but then there's also, PDF files and Excel files that are not connected and not structured in any way. A lot of the technology that exists today, particularly some of the artificial intelligence technologies, can really consume that data and produce structure very, very quickly. So a task that you might have assigned to a junior member of your staff, well, that may actually be highly automated, and some of that is already happening today.
Through AI, you can know much more about a property and an area without even starting due diligence. So you can know about zoning and flooding and what's happening with traffic and what's happening with supply in that market and what's happening with the rents of that specific building versus buildings around it. So it's almost like you have a machine that's pre-underwriting every property around and boiling the ocean to surface the opportunities that really matter for you. I think AI will give the possibility to real estate investors to become experts in every local market and understand every market as if they had lived in it or transacted in it for 20 years.
Certainly, 10 years from now, it will be considered highly table stakes within a commercial real estate business to have data and data science or artificial intelligence as a sort of underpinning to much of the work that we're doing in a way that I think will be quite seamless and somewhat ubiquitous.
The reason that you need artificial intelligence in commercial real estate is to allow for a new level of efficiency in interacting with the software. It's almost like the advent of the mouse. Once the mouse came around, you had graphical user interfaces. It opened up the world to a whole new set of possibilities and new users that could take advantage of these very powerful tools, even in their nascent stage. With artificial intelligence and natural language processing and these generative AIs, the new interface may simply be your voice, your face, just talking. Think about having an artificial intelligence that is like an employee who never takes coffee breaks. So you can talk to the system and ask it questions. What do I have to do today? Can you give me some advice on communicating with this tenant who owes me money? Maybe can you just write up the collections letter for me? Right, and the system can do all of these types of things. So rather than sitting there with a keyboard and mouse as a traditional knowledge worker, you're going to be interfacing using natural language as a new paradigm for how you use software in your day-to-day business.